This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yeah, there he is. He's psyched. He's ready to go. You're going to Yankee Stadium, right? You're going to go cover that Pinstripe Bowl, aren't you?
I will not be in New York this year, man. I did the New York trip 5 years ago, and the Athletic asked me to cover the debacle of the Orange Bowl and see what happens with Florida State. So I will be here. I'll be going to the Under Armour game, the Under Armour All-American game in Orlando, all that kind of stuff. So I'm on other assignment, but I will be watching the Canes on TV like the rest of you.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. By the way, the Orange Bowl, does that have any juice left? Did they squeeze all the juice out of the Orange Bowl? Because
yeah, it's gotten bad, brother.
Oh my God, I feel bad for Eric Palms and company, man. Those people work so hard. They're such great people, putting together the Orange Bowl every year, and oh my Lord, nobody's going to care and watch that game. Which, by the way, I don't blame Florida State for any of this. I don't blame their bitterness. I don't blame that they're mad. They got screwed, but boy, did they get really screwed, because you know what? All you got to do is go grab the Officer and a Gentleman scene, and then all you got to do, somebody's got to go out and do the editing, and there's a Richard Gere moment where he's just sitting on the floor after getting his ass kicked by Louis Gossett Jr., and he's crying, and he's telling him, I want your DA or whatever, I want your quitting or whatever. I'm not going to quit. I got nowhere else to go. It's got to be an FSU logo on it, just saying, I got nowhere else to go. Because they got $570 million to get out.
Yeah, it's a rough situation. I feel for those guys, because they obviously, I think Mike Norvell, you think about the job that he did over the last 2 years, like he worked his ass off to get that team to 13-0, and then to basically end like this, it's really devastating, which is why I've sort of hypothesized that while Florida State can enjoy what it accomplished this year and going 13-0 winning ACC title, I don't know how long Mike Norvell is for Tallahassee, and I know he hasn't come out and said anything, but think about it. Think about that. I mean, you're dealing with those financial issues, right? You have players fighting over money that they're not getting in NIL. I don't know. It would be interesting to see what happens at Florida State here in the next couple of years. But if there is a coaching carousel, and there's a lot of people who presume that Jim Harbaugh will be leaving Michigan, that will set the wheels in motion for a lot of movement. And who knows ultimately what a guy like Mike Norvell fits into all that.
My God, the people at FSU are going to go psychotic now if that happens.
Yeah, I've hypothesized that he somehow end up at LSU in the next few years. That's my theory, and we'll see if that's what plays out.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy stuff. All right, recruiting wise, they're still basking in the glory there at Coral Gables.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have a top 5 recruiting class after 7-5 season. You're fighting for a quarterback now, but between the transfer portal, I think they've got 5 guys now, 2 D tackles. What else did they pick up? A center. They've got enough talented guys there to survive. So they just need the quarterback, and we'll see what happens here with Cam Ward and when he decides to make a decision.
So what the hell is going on with Cam Ward, bro?
Yeah, well, listen, what I was told at the beginning of last week was by Friday, he would have a decision. Well, obviously, I think he's just continuing to figure out if he's going to go to the NFL or go to Miami and probably holding out for more money. This is the new world of college football, man. Like, all you got to do is get in the transfer portal before January 2nd. You don't have to sign right away. So you can drag this out as long as you want. You can make Miami really nervous if you want, or they can go out and just get another quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, I know there were a lot of people around the program that thought, oh, this would be over by now. It obviously isn't.
Yeah, no. Okay, is this a bad thing or is this a good thing that it's still going on? I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. I'll tell you this. It would be a bad thing if there were not quarterbacks available. Like if Miami was simply waiting on Cam Ward and other guys had signed, if KJ Jefferson had ended up somewhere else, if Will Howard had already signed with somebody else,
if you were out of options, it would be a bad thing. I think this is just a business thing. This is just the way college football works now. And look, there's openings at Miami, there's openings at Ohio State, and there's openings at Florida State. 3 quarterbacks are going to end up getting, signed and paid to go to those schools. So I think as long as there's available options that are quality options, then I don't think it's a bad thing for Miami. I just think it's a business thing.
What is the ACC going to do anything in its negotiations with the college football playoff system after what happened with Florida State?
What can they do? This is what they agreed to,
I got it. That's why I ask you, because you're the expert.
Yeah.
So I got to just bring it up just to bring it up, because I don't know if they can or not.
No, they really can. I mean, listen, they're bringing in 2 new TV markets with SMU in the Dallas area and then Stanford and Cal in San Francisco. That's supposed to produce more TV dollars. So, you're producing more markets, you're producing more viewers. That's supposed to ultimately end up in producing more money as part of the ESPN deal. Whether or not that equates to satisfying programs like Florida State and Clemson and Miami, whoever else wants more money out of this thing, I don't know. I think ultimately Florida State's in a really tough spot because, look, they're going to be a 12-team playoff next year. The ACC champion will make the playoff every single year. Okay, that's a guarantee. But, outside of more revenue sharing and the champions being rewarded for making the college football playoff, there's really not. I mean, there's going to be a gap between the Big Ten, the SEC, and everybody else for years to come. And I don't know that there's an answer to solve this for the ACC beyond what it did, which is a small step, which is bring in 2 new TV markets and hope that produces better numbers for you and helps produce more money.
By the way, Josh brings up a point there. Why doesn't UM go after Arch Manning, bro? Come on, let's go.
Well, Arch is happy in Texas. That's the word anyway. And he's a guy that doesn't need money, right? Let's face it. He comes from a rich family.
Really?
He doesn't need any money. I think Arch is probably just fine. So look, let him enjoy life. Let him enjoy his situation. He likes being in Texas. He's going to be the man for 1 year and go to the NFL after that. It won't be next year because Quinn Ewers is coming back, but he'll be the guy in 25, and he's happy representing Texas in 25 and going to the NFL after that.
Damn, I thought he was living off food stamps and WIC, and maybe we could bring him in.
Not that Manning. Not that Arch Manning.
Oh, okay. What you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out, my man?
Well, we're going to have a new Until Saturday podcast. We're going to record that tomorrow. Me and the recruiting folks, Ari Wasserman, Grace Rayner. We'll have some, like I said, we'll have coverage of the Pinstripe Bowl. I'll be giving some thoughts on that right after the game. I'm going up to the Under Armour All-America game on Friday. There's going to be some media activities. I'll be there for that, and then I'll be back to cover the Orange Bowl. So, there's things going on. And then, of course, there's Cam Ward and transfer portal coverage. I know Miami's not done in the portal. They're still looking for guys at certain spots. I think they'll probably bring in another safety at some point. And we'll see what they do at quarterback. So there'll be plenty of news to track there.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up later on in the week.
All right, brother. Good talking to you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Here we go. Manny Navarro. We will talk to him after the Pinstripe Bowl. We'll talk to him on Friday, and we'll get the wrap-up because the Pinstripe Bowl is on Thursday. And no, I'm not doing a post-game show for that.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.